Are we live?
Says we're on air.
All right. Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
What's going on, everybody? We're live. We're live on Helix Rock Radio and YouTube.
Yeah.
Doing an audio. Sorry, YouTube. Doing the audio only stream again.
You get that cool visualizer though.
Yeah.
Just jive with it. Just jive with it.
I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, I didn't like make it, but I was happy I was able to find it and implement it fairly easily.
Yeah. All right.
Since we I can share. I need to copy link. Since we stopped using StreamYard, none of this stuff is implemented easily.
Yeah. But it doesn't cost a whole bunch of money either.
That's right.
Let's talk Doctor Who.
Oh.
That's so generic.
Are we talking Doctor Who again?
Tonight, yeah.
I forgot the last episode.
The cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually had two, and I wonder if that says anything.
That's going to factor into your opinion and review.
I really don't know, but we will get to that. That is what we're going to be talking. That'll be our that's the main attraction. We're going to talk about Doctor Who Lux, or season 2, episode 2 of the current series. But first, how are you two doing?
I'm all right.
I'm here. I am here.
I think maybe another week and we can go video again. I'm not happy with where my facial hair is right now, but I think if this will fill in, Jesse can see us. Yeah, he can see the state of things today.
I get it.
If this fills up enough and they can't tell what's beard and what's neck, I think maybe that'll work.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
As I've gotten older, the beard has gotten longer, not shorter.
Right. The beard was always conscious style decision and laziness for the most part for me. For the first time in my life, it will be it will serve an actual function. It will be I mean, it's still a style function.
It'll preserve your vanity.
Yes, it will. That's right. That's right.
It's the last vestige of my vanity. And I'm keeping it.
I keep saying you should just go ZZ Top with it, but
it's so hard. Jesse's is admirable. Jesse has an admiral beard. Admirable. We'll say that.
Yeah. It got a full promotion. It was a whole thing. It was just like a ceremony.
I can't get it to do that. It doesn't seem to get long enough. It just puffs out in a ridiculous manner.
Maybe Jesse uses some of the products that his girlfriend or wife bought for him for his beard. Maybe that's why it works okay.
I don't think that's it.
That's not what
okay.
has happened. But I have used those, and they do. They're nice. They are nice. But the laziness factor of it too.
Right.
I do have to brush it, because otherwise, if I don't, I'll get bed beard and all sorts of shenanigans will ensue on my face. But yeah.
Shenanigans will ensue.
Face shenanigans. That's just not the thing you want for
no.
I do condition it. I do just use hair conditioner on my beard, so because why not? I'm already doing it.
Yeah, Randy did try to brush his chin a couple times after he
I shaved.
Yeah, I bet you
because
did,
it's such a habit.
It's a phantom limb.
It kind of is.
The phantom follicles. I get it.
Brush my hair
after a shortened haircut where you're just you're brushing your hair and you expect it to keep going, and then it's not. This is oh God, it's so short.
Melanie asked me the other night, a little while ago, and I think it was talking about my hair. We'll just say going blonder naturally on its own, as it does with old age. Yeah. It goes more blonde.
Yeah, more blonde. Yeah, I get it. Platinum.
And she asked, if it all went platinum, it's are you you're gonna keep your hair long after you go gray? And I was like, yeah. And she seemed very upset about that answer.
Oh no.
Well, I'm just,
What? Why? You don't want to be with a wizard? Because I am a wizard.
Oh yeah, he'll go full Gandalf. That'll be rad.
It'd be a little weird.
Why? It's the same as it is now, except
except he can call the thunder.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Nah.
Fireball.
I was a little taken back by that, though. It's like, huh? I didn't know that was a concern she had.
Well, it's not really.
And a wizard's never late. He arrives exactly when he intends to.
That's right.
Man, all the good quotes you'll just be able to spout. Man, I can't wait.
He just wants you with short hair like once,
There's pictures.
Those don't count.
From when I was like 18, 17.
That's not the thing.
The fear is as we get older, like that you'll cut your hair and then it won't grow back.
That's been the fear since I was
like,
that's been my fear since I was like 20 something. I was like, that's why I don't cut it. I'm like, someday it might be gone. I'm gonna have it as long.
And I'm gonna need some stock for the comb over.
right.
You'd be fine. You'd be bald already if you were gonna be bald.
Man, I feel like I'm working on a 6 head.
You're not. I have a big forehead too, but
if it goes in that Friar Tuck manner, I probably will cut my hair.
Sure.
You can't have. I don't know what's worse.
When a bald man washes his face, how far up does he go?
He probably just does the whole thing. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's the same thing as like me conditioning my beard. It's like, well, I got so much hair, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Just do all the hair.
I suppose.
Well, guys, that's been that's our new segment. We've been doing it for a while, but let's make it official. That's our like TMI. TMI well into middle age talk.
Yeah,
TMI,
listen,
we're getting too old for this.
I got so much hair in my ears. It's a real thing. It's a real problem.
That's the only reason he wears headphones on the stream, so you can't see.
That's right. Yeah. You wouldn't see it though. It's like real tree camouflage. Like it just blends in. It just blends in with my hair. Like you wouldn't be able to tell, but it's there.
Real tree camouflage.
That's such an oddly specific reference. I wonder what I'm talking about.
Oh man, it's definitely not anything I would ever wear on a stream.
That's right. You wouldn't. Not on a stream.
I do have certain shirts where it's like, yeah, this is a nobody's going to see me and I'm not leaving the house shirt. Fortunately, I get to wear that shirt like 6 to 7 days a week now. Not that one shirt, but those shirts.
Yeah. You've got it. That's right, folks. There's a series. It's not just one. It's a whole week's worth.
Yeah, and most of them say Napa.
Most of them do say Napa.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got that.
From a workplace from like, what is it now? 7, 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
We're not just gonna throw those out, man. You either had to pay for them or they were, like part of the job. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear this until it's threads.
Okay. We're talking about it now. Real tree camo shirt. This was a Napa buy. They bought this for us. I don't know why. There's no logos.
That has nothing to do with Napa. Yeah.
I don't know. They would waste money like that on
They were just trying to appeal to a certain demographic. Like, listen, we know you got trucks. You gotta get that truck ready for deer hunting season. Well, you can buy clothes here too.
And I remember telling them like they're buying it. And I told them a ridiculously large size. I mean, it's not really ridiculous. It's fitting me now. But I was easily like at different points in times there 100 pounds lighter than I am now. And I remember them getting the shirt and be like, who did this? And I was like, I did. And then I'd wear it and they'd be like, oh, Okay. I thought somebody just bought an extra huge shirt to be a D-bag. It's like, oh no,
just to be a jerk about it.
I'm gonna wear this because I wanted that size.
Yeah,
Right.
You're big and tall.
I am.
I know.
No, I'm slender, and we're audio only now. People don't have to know the truth. I'm slender and svelte.
Like a Skarsgård.
I'm like a Skarsgård. Lanky,
right.
and sinewy. We watched. Okay, this will segue into like what we've been doing or watching lately. The reason that's fresh in her mind. We watched Boy Kills World, I think is what it was called.
Okay.
It's a movie, and it had I believe a Bill Scar.
Oh, the penny wisest of them all.
Yeah, the penny wisest of the crows. It had him in it. It was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, not amazing, but like very stylish, kind of wacky sci-fi, very violent,
cat dancey.
Not very cat dancey.
No. Yeah.
I mean, there was some drama, but I wouldn't say he was like super emo.
Yeah.
But his character is deaf and mute.
Was made deaf and mute.
Was made deaf and mute when he was a kid. So they explain it away in that like he doesn't remember what his voice sounded like. So his inner voice is H. John Benjamin. Do you know who Bob's Burgers? He plays Bob Archer.
Okay,
like that voice. That's his inner monologue.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a fun movie. Very real bloody.
Yeah, very violent.
Oh yeah. I mean, AI. He likes a good character that he doesn't have to do. He can be more physical than audible. So.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah. You're right.
He did a lot of face emoting.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if that's like an intentional thing or if it's like coincidental or he's typecast into like, no, you don't talk much. You just got to do a lot of stuff.
Listen, you're like Andy Serkis, only we won't let you talk.
Right. But yeah.
Sorry, it's anti-authoritarianism, which is nice.
Right. There's aspects of it that are very predictable. Like Melanie definitely called some things well ahead of time. But there's still a few surprises that I didn't see coming. So yeah, whatever. It would be a good pair it with something like Hardcore Henry, or we watched Guns Akimbo a while ago. I kind of like this better than Guns Akimbo, but that kind of like super kinetic camera work, over the top, lots of fight scenes. This is more fight scenes than gunfight scenes, but there's still gunfights and stuff. Yeah, whatever. It's good. Jesse, you got anything interesting you've been?
I mean, like the main things that I've watched have been like D&D Let's Plays kind of stuff. So I think I mentioned it last time that I've been watching Dimension 20, and I've been like watching shows off of the Dropout streaming service. And so they just finished up their most current season, which is called Titan Takedown. And it's all like a wrestling themed D&D campaign. So of course, who are they going to get to do the playing of a wrestling themed campaign, but a bunch of wrestlers? And so it's been fun because like some of basically one of them has played D&D before. And so it's like, it's interesting to see these physically gifted in-ring performers get sucked into this fictional world and play with math rocks. And pretend that they are, pretend that they are gods and or like the spawn of gods, or like one of them's like a pseudo minotaur kind of thing, and one's like the god of cat ladies or something. And it's just funny because like they portray these larger than life characters already with their actual bodies, right? And now they're pretending to portray larger than life characters. And it's interesting, and they're good at it. Obviously, they're good at like the the role play bit where they
Sure.
cut a promo or whatever, you know, like even in their character, they know how to talk, they know how to work the mic. So it was entertaining, and it was fun to watch them puzzle through things, because it's a different kind of like problem solving than they're probably used to.
Right.
What's a pseudo centaur? Is that like a horse head on a human body?
Well, so I mean, like she's not really like a full minotaur, but she does have like a bull's head, but she's got like a kangaroo's body kind of a thing. And so it's like a pseudo minotaur is like, but it's like this humanoid but bestial, but I don't know, kind of furry. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, cool.
It was something. Yeah. And it worked in the like pseudo Greek campaign that they were. Or it was basically Greece, but like it was like what if ancient fantastical Greece was also kind of modernized, because they like essentially they used like the power of the gods to have something like a cell phone, and they had the power of the gods to have something like a stretch limousine, but it's a chariot, like that kind of stuff. Because magic can make anything happen.
Right.
And that Brendan Lee Mulligan or whatever, he's a heck of a fun DM to watch. I mean, like I think most people know, was it Matt Mercer or something from Critical Role? Like I think he's probably one of the most popular on-screen DMs. But this Brendan Lee Mulligan, he's pretty funny. So. Right. I've enjoyed watching anything that he does. So
I do miss because way back when I'd listen to podcasts all the time, because when I had a different job and I would listen to podcasts all the time as opposed to listening to them all the time now. There were a couple like real play RPG podcasts I'd listen to. Yeah, and it was good. It was good to get into if the personalities are there. If the personalities are there, it's easy to get into a good story. The DM is important. They're obviously like kind of shaping the thing. Whoops. Amateur move. Need to mute my phone. You probably didn't even hear it.
I did.
I'm sorry, Melanie. But like there's still the problem with some of those is they go on so long. And then I fell off, don't remember where, but I think about their campaigns sometimes. And that's a weird thing to think about somebody else's D&D campaign that I had no part of, but it's like, that was a cool story. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was cool about this one is that it's a short season. So the episodes are long, but there's only 4 of them, you know? So it's like a 2-hour long episode, but there's only 4 of them. So, you know, you get it in that kind of a chunk. I watch a little bit at a time kind of deal. And usually I wouldn't like watch a whole episode just because 2 hours is a long time. And I'm probably watching a movie instead, or watch a couple episodes of a show. I don't know, but I can do that a little more piecemeal when I'm listening to a Let's Play.
Well, speaking of action and fighting, that's not my segue.
What? That's a real roll of the dice there, man.
Right. So I have, because I kept saying I should do this thing after we were watching Daredevil Born Again. I should revisit the Netflix Daredevil series, and I have been.
Okay.
I've been binging it because there's been enough time since it aired.
Yeah.
That with a few exceptions of like key highlights, like I don't remember anything. Anything. And I watched the first season, and I'm almost finished with the second season already.
Dang. There's only 3 seasons. You can slow down.
There's only 3 seasons, and I kind of didn't want to then branch off to the other series. Problem is, I know a bunch of the like season 2 stuff is setting up the Defenders. And I know that season 3 is going to kick in, and it's going to be like, where'd all that stuff go? Oh, it's done.
Right.
So I might have to hop over to Defenders. I don't know. I don't want to get sucked into all of them again.
If you end up rewatching Jessica Jones with Kilgrave, I want to watch that.
Okay.
Oh,
we might end up watching the first season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, so good, yeah.
And I might have to revisit Luke Cage. Luke Cage, I think, is the one I'm more inclined to check out over the others.
Sure.
But yeah, Melanie, you're right. The first season of Jessica Jones, it'd be good.
He's the best villain.
But I would say, with Born Again fresh in my mind, I think Born Again's still fine. It's still good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the first season of Daredevil specifically was great. I think it was the best. I remember the third season being really good because they knew it was ending and they kind of wrapped up a bunch of stuff. We'll see when I get there. The second season is not bad, but it's kind of a downgrade.
It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. There's two.
It's the weird one of the three.
It suffers from that cinematic universe problem of like, it's trying to establish some things. Unfortunately, like they kind of still did it right. Like you don't have to establish like Luke, all these other side characters, but
you just have to make the Night Nurse, and then she'll establish all the other characters.
Right, she was the through line for a lot of them. Yeah. I think it would have been better if they'd have focused on the Punisher storyline, but I'm not a huge fan of the Elektra Hand storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That or wrap Punisher first and then move on to the second. It'd be fine to split the season up that way. But the problem is that season makes Matt very, very frustrating and unlikable because, and I guess that's where they were going with the characters and stuff, but it's just not enjoyable. It's not nearly as enjoyable. But the first season I think excelled. Of course, it had to establish everybody, but the character writing was so good. It had lots of little threads. It all was tied into the main storyline, but it had lots of little threads, but it balanced them well. And it does feel like, this thread went for a while and then usually Kingpin's responsible for somebody dying. And then you got to follow this other thread. But it all like wraps together nicely. Mm-hmm. And this includes the second season for the most part. There's a little bit more cheesiness in the second season. You don't need that Disney CGI money for good action scenes. In fact, I think the action scenes in season 1 and the fight scenes are better than most of the action in.
Yeah, because they got creative. They didn't rely on it. They didn't rely on putting a stunt double in. They had stunt doubles, but they didn't rely on having an acrobat do stuff. So
they did let Matt but really actually kill somebody by starting him on fire. And the guy just continued to fight rather than stop, drop, and roll like everyone knows you're supposed to do.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Or at least bump into a wall and start the whole building on fire.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going out.
One of the two, yeah. You're taking the whole thing down with you, or you stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
And maybe still die.
And I forgot Karen Page was like their first client. I forgot how the whole thing kicked off. And I don't remember if they address it in season 3, but I'm a little surprised it never came up in season 2. But then again, it's kind of too busy with its plots. It puts Karen towards the Punisher thing, but I guess they don't have to address it directly. But Karen killed Kingpin's right-hand man, and I don't remember if that ever comes back up. I know it plays into her. I think it plays into her mentality along with her backstory of why she sympathizes with the Punisher as much as she does. But yeah, I don't remember if that ever comes back up.
I'll be murdering people up in the second season.
Right. Anyway, I think it holds up very well. In fact, like I said, it doesn't necessarily feel dated. I like the look of it better. It's more stylized in a way.
So I wonder like, because that's a way longer season compared,
Yeah.
because that's what they did. They used to make long seasons, or they used to do much longer seasons, and now we've got maybe 8 episodes, 9 episodes if we're lucky. And I wonder if this isn't like, if there isn't like a middle road that we could like approach, you know?
Right. Well, that was one thing. That was one of my like hesitations to, which is insane. Because I think I even probably dial it back to some Grawlix podcast episode where we were talking about this Daredevil the first time around. And we're probably like, only 13 episodes. Man, I remember when TV shows were 23 episodes, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's like, I was somewhat hesitant to jump into it because I was like, I don't know, maybe it'll feel drawn out. I know they're longer seasons.
Right.
But 13 episodes, it's 4, maybe 5. How many episodes does this season get?
Was it 9? I can't remember.
9. So it's like
I want to say
episodes.
it was 9, but I don't know.
But on top of that 4 more, which is like up to 4 hours, but on top of the 4 more episodes, the average episode running time was longer too, by about 10 minutes or so. Most episodes were 50 to 60 minutes. And now they're closer to
9 episodes.
Yeah. And now they're closer to like 45, 50 minutes.
Right.
So they do have a lot more time to do stuff. But it's like, they always blame the shortened seasons on, well, the budgets. That's fine. But the first season of Daredevil was great. You don't need extra budget to film. I mean, dialogue scenes are cheap and it works well. It doesn't feel drawn out. It doesn't feel,
Even like the stuff with the Kingpin, like not all of that is visually shown. It's some of it is just straight up implied, but it's implied in the most like brutally sickening way, and it works just as well. You don't have to visually see him breaking a man's jaw and snapping his neck at the same time, you know?
Right. That first season had the deal. And this is one of the moments that stuck with me, is where he basically takes that guy's head off by slamming it in the car door. And you see enough, but you don't, it's not as visceral and like graphic as that kill at the end of Born Again. But it's still a scene that stuck with me, even though I remember like nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
and then like later on, the whole like flashback scene where he stands up to his dad, like that stuff sticks in my brain, you know, because it's brutal enough. But of course, I'm sure we didn't see an actual hammer, you know. I'm sure we didn't see the actual shot, but
you see him like when he's still standing, you see him hit like the back of his head, but the like grotesqueness, that's off camera.
Yeah.
That's not to say this show can't be grotesque or whatever, but I don't know. It just didn't need to be. It wasn't like reliant on it. The Punisher stuff in second season is really good, but the Elektra stuff though, that's just where like the more supernatural and over the top comic book stuff comes in, which is fine, but like it is. Other than the Daredevil himself,
she like practically dead or something in the second one? I mean, like I kind of forget what's going on there. Like they give her like some kind of crazy transfusion or something, or is maybe that's just towards the end of second season?
We're not there yet. It's later for sure.
Is she one of those pod people or whatever they were that they had them in like urns and they were?
Something like that. I don't know when that happens. Maybe it happens during Defenders.
Well, I mean, they're setting all that up in this season, but I think a lot of that probably happens during Defenders.
And the hand be crazy like that. They are. I mean, like that is a thing, but it's like that's where it was like, man, this was so gritty and real and street level, and then it went weird.
Right. This is season 2. They're like, it's time to turn up the volume.
Like, listen, we greenlit the Iron Fist. We got to start getting weird, or this isn't going to work.
They need to pull in some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And you know, I almost kind of felt bad about complaining about the new characters in Born Again, where it's like nobody's got the like the interactions aren't there, the personalities just aren't there with the new characters that are introduced in Born Again. and they got rid of like the most interesting characters. And I get that they probably didn't know where to go with Foggy or where to go with Karen because, I mean, Foggy didn't have a big arc anyway. He's just Foggy. But Karen had she had her own mini arcs throughout the whole thing.
Sure. When didn't a lot of them die? A lot of them died at some point. Like, was it Jerry Hogarth? I don't think she survives like Jessica Jones or whatever. And I mean, like, she was another through line character that I think we see in Daredevil a couple times too.
Right. But I think the thing with Foggy and Karen is like season 1, especially season 2, less so because everybody's just kind of like at each other.
Sure.
The dynamic is so good. There's several scenes of just like Foggy and Karen out on their own drinking all night and whatever. And they're so fun. And you lose that. And that kind of sucks because, whatever. They were good characters. And that's where a lot of the fun of it came from. You can have fun and still get like mopey.
Well, you need that fun to balance against mopey Matt.
Yeah.
There's no likable characters anymore.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, I've been revisiting that and enjoying it. Obviously, been binging through it. That's replaced my endless It's Always Sunny rewatches. Hopefully that makes Melanie happy.
Yeah, well, I thought the Wrexham was replacing that.
Well, no, you're watching Wrexham with me.
Well, I know, but
we're slowly still going through Wrexham too. I think we're towards the end of the first season, I think. So.
Yep. Did we watch another movie? A second movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesse, was there anything else you've been consuming?
Oh, not a lot. No, I mean, I just I wrote down that we talked about some trailers last week, or we were going to talk about some trailers, but we talked about all sorts of other stuff instead. Like there was a trailer for 28 Years Later. There was a new trailer dropped for the Fantastic Four. Maybe we mentioned it. Maybe we didn't. I don't know.
I don't think we did. I don't think we mentioned the trailers.
Yeah, and then they even announced that Sandman season 2 is actually happening.
Right.
Or they gave us a trailer for it, I should say.
So 28 Years Later, I think this is the second trailer that's dropped. I kind of like the first trailer a little bit more only because it relied more on that like kind of intense poem thing with the counting and the numbers. But that was in this trailer as well. But this trailer is good. Both trailers have been really good about like, here's some stuff going on, but we're not telling you the plot. And that's the best trailer.
Yeah. So you're confused by it, but or intrigued by it, I guess would be a better word for it. Because it has a very The Village type of feel to it,
right?
What I've seen so far, but also like, no, I mean,
right.
It's an interesting new twist. I don't think I've ever seen a kind of like sheltered Alexandria Amish society in a zombie apocalypse before.
Right. Yeah. Give me the basic setup, maybe sell me on the tone or the style of it, but I don't need the whole plot. And these trailers that trailer is pretty good about that. Less good about that, but probably not really as relevant. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, like, boy, howdy! I guess we're doing Galactus.
Yeah.
Just put that one on Front Street, you know.
Fantastic Four always seemed ridiculous to me, but Randy mentioned when we watched the trailer, it's a good thing that they made it retro because that lends itself to the ridiculous more than modern stuff does.
Yeah, setting it in that period, it's obviously like a period piece or maybe an alternate universe that's kind of in that period because they're going to cross. I don't know. They cross over into the new Avengers movie. So
right.
Like a lot of the cast, I think, is coming over from that. But
maybe they were hanging out with Captain America in his, frozen.
Oh, in his heyday. Yeah.
But giving it that like, first off, though, that helps to separate it from just like a generic blockbuster superhero movie is giving it that like retro, I guess it's not retro futuristic, but that vintage vibe and look and setting.
like a 60s vibe to it, which makes sense because that's kind of when the actual Fantastic Four comic and I mean, I suppose it was more like the 70s, but like it's that vibe, you know.
And just the campiness works better and it works well in a world that seems kind of campy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that vibe, that look.
Yeah.
Female shaped Silver Surfer is interesting. Is that a thing that ever happens? I mean, I just assume Silver Surfer is like whatever, right? Is Silver Surfer like the T-1000? is he liquid metal?
Well, I mean, he was just a dude that was like basically he gets the Batman treatment, you know. It's like except I think he actually does save his world. Like the whole deal is like his world is up to be eaten by Galactus, and Nora and Rad is just like, no, I have a family and I have to save this world. And so he does a deal with Galactus where Galactus will spare his world, but he has to serve as the herald of Galactus. And so like the silver sheen of him is what protects him from the harsh reality of space travel and whatnot. And then he's also imbued with the powers cosmic or whatever that means. And then he's got the surfboard, which allows him to travel so swiftly through the cosmos.
Okay. Yeah, I know nothing about Silver Surfer. It occurs to me, but
I mean, like it's easy to gender swap that character. It's the same exact premise, just put a different form on it, you know.
Right.
And so it doesn't make me mad at all. I'm sure it makes a lot of people really mad. But you know, it's really not going to change the core of the character at all, because that character is so alien and kind of detached from his humanity because he's already struck up this deal with the devil that is Galactus. I mean, he's helping a giant eat worlds.
Right. Right.
That's kind of the crux of Silver Surfer at that point in time.
Okay. I'm sure it will be fun. I like Pedro Pascal.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch anything he's in.
I think he can play an emotionally detached person pretty well.
Actually. Yeah. He's good at that.
Doing that. Yeah.
That's kind of his specialty. Right. Emotionally detached, yet handsome.
Yeah, so handsome.
It helps if he has a kid that's not really his kid, but
that's
right.
That's the thing they love to do.
Right. Pair him up with
I was gonna go somewhere to call him a daddy because he's
I almost went there. You gotta have the Pedro daddy.
Yeah, but I couldn't bring myself to say it. It's because it's just a creepy thing to call somebody. But the internet loves to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jeff Goldblum, then they make it even weirder by calling you Zaddy.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird, isn't it? That's what it's like. That's what people called him for a while.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, you're right. I remember we watched the trailer for the season 2. Maybe it was more of a teaser. I don't know. For the Sandman season 2, I remember nothing about it, but I'm glad it's happening.
I remember
it's more
it was like they didn't count all of the siblings. That's the only thing I remember about it.
Right, the siblings. Which one were they missing?
Do they have Lucifer? Like, isn't Lucifer kind of, or maybe they're not? Maybe he's not. He, she, it is not a sibling.
Right.
No. But there's Dream, Death, Destiny.
Well, Death. Yeah, is Death even there? I didn't even see her.
I don't remember seeing Death.
I don't think they didn't mention her. Desire, Delirium, and there's one more I can't remember. But there's like 6 or 7. I can't remember.
Yeah, you definitely called out one as being missing, but I don't remember which one.
Death was definitely not there.
Right.
I think that might have been the one that I said.
Oh.
That feels like a glaring oversight considering we've already met her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's one of the more popular ones, like just people that read the comics. So, yeah. Was that all of them?
Sure. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is definitely the last season of it, though, that we're gonna get.
If they're calling in all the siblings, then it's like, okay, well, this is it. They're just getting it in while they can.
Never mind. It's different. I was gonna say they're still making Harry Potter crap, right? But I guess it's different.
It is different. They're both horrible human beings, and they probably shouldn't. So, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do horrible people have to have talent? It's just not fair.
Right.
Well.
Well, I tried to think of a segue, and all I could grab onto was like talent. But
what did we? So what was that other movie we watched?
Oh, Companion.
I don't remember what that was.
You knew you wouldn't.
Okay.
So we watched this movie Companion, and afterwards I go, what would you rate it? I always ask her. And I think initially she said 3.5. Then she's like, no, maybe 3 because it's pretty forgettable. And you remember nothing about it now.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I don't want to give away the...
Oh, wait, I remember.
If you can go into it without knowing, I don't want to give away the twist. But it's, we'll say, a thriller type. It would pair well with like Bodies, or what was that other one? There was another one where a bunch of people went and were partying in some like rich dude's house, and somebody had like a sci-fi machine that allowed them to switch bodies, and things just went awry. It would, and Bodies is another one. Same setup, except not the sci-fi angle. Somebody dies, and then things go awry. It would pair very nicely with those movies, but it does have like a premise.
They go out to some house in the wilderness and things go awry. I'll just say that.
Things go awry.
Oh no, not Evil Dead / Cabin in the Woods / Dale and Tucker versus Evil / whatever.
A lot of things, yeah.
Right. It is like a subdivision or like a cousin subgenre as of those, because it's not a slasher. Because usually when things go awry, it's all the characters they're just killing themselves, but like, you know, each other. Things just, it's like a comedy of errors except murderous.
Yeah, nobody trusts each other anymore.
And they're usually rich kids or rich 20-somethings or whatever. Yeah. It's like, it's the upper class of the Cabin in the Woods type. So
version. It's like the color out of space type of crowd, yeah.
Sure.
Like, you know, they like got an issue where they turn into Trump and
right.
colors, and, and then your wife fuses with your kid and turn into some kind of weird blobby homunculus.
You hate to see it, but it happens.
That's what people say. People say.
Anyway, I thought it was good. I liked it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. It's got the guy who's in a lot of stuff. It's who's in The Boys. What's his name in The Boys? Huey.
Is it that Huey? Yeah.
It's got Huey. He's one of the
something
leads.
Quaid.
Yeah.
Something Quaid. Jeff Quaid.
Jack, I think.
Yeah.
Jack Quaid. That's it.
Yeah. I like that guy. And he's in some, he seems to get put in interesting movies. I've seen him in a few things.
He just did one called Novocaine or something where he feels no pain. That could be pretty interesting.
That looks like the kind of movie you should pair with Boy Kills World, but I have not seen Novocaine, so I can't say for sure. But it looks like that kind of energy.
His dad was great at picking movies. Enemy Mine is one of my favorites of all time. I'm just gonna say. Okay, good.
It's because you're a woman.
I know it is. I know you say
women
things.
Love that movie. That's not me being sexist.
It's freaking great.
That's objective truth.
Yeah, and women love The Fifth Element, which is also freaking great.
Subjective? No. Subjective.
Dancing Girl, which is also great. I don't care.
Women love all those movies.
I know, you tell me this all the time.
I'm leaving.
You don't need a white knight, Jesse. You know it's true. No. There's worse sexist things I could say, okay? Other than all women like these movies.
Right.
any woman who's offended by that's probably like, I mean, he's right, but
Right.
Okay, I'm done. It's not punching down because women are not below me.
That's right.
I'm a feminist, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're supposed to be the sexist one in the crew, Melanie.
Okay.
What am I doing here?
Well, you're going like this. That's what you're doing.
Flailing.
You're not even punching. You're just flapping your arms.
Sorry, I don't punch up or down. I just
you're just
flail.
doing like some weird boneless dance, like the drunken giraffe, like a Matt Smith kind of thing. You see how I'm trying to segue us into the thing?
The rubber chicken arm.
Yeah,
I'm like a noodle elbowed cartoon character over here.
Oh man, don't make me laugh.
Okay. That was a good segue. There we go. We got there.
We did. We got there.
So let's talk about Doctor Who Lux. Second episode. It's current season of Doctor Who. Belinda and the Doctor find themselves in 1953, 52, Miami, something like that. And and the Doctor really wants to Scooby. He wants to Scooby so hard, and Belinda's not having it, but she gets on board eventually.
Yep. But first, he's got to show her some racism.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you guys think of this?
It's nice that they addressed racism because that's always a concern.
Right. Right. The Doctor Who's been weird about it because sometimes it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I know 13th or 12th Doctor and Bill, 12th Doctor played it off a lot. Like, you're fine. Whatever.
Right.
Of course, they didn't go to America that often in those time periods. But then Chibi, of course, like everything that era did, they pointed it out and then pointed their finger right at it and then brought it up to the camera lens and be like, look, we're addressing it. That's Rosa Parks right there. Like, just like, dude, calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to go that far. Jeez, ham-fisting it.
I don't know why they didn't just be like, there's a translation filter for your skin or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, perception filter for your skin.
Right.
I'm gonna say, what was it? Was it Martha Jones? They dealt with it without dealing with it. Like the one time where she used like a maid or whatever as part of the cover for the Doctor with the Family of Blood.
Right. You're right. And I guess 12 and Bill, they did address it. I think the one episode where they go to a certain time period in England. It's the one with the thing under the frozen river or lake or whatever it was. It doesn't matter.
They addressed her sexual orientation a little more than
they did.
Race.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, they addressed it here. Well, one moment I did like is that, like, the Doctor, obviously he's dealt with it before. Don Bubble actually handled it pretty well. Like, but the Doctor did the thing where he like kind of had to look at his hand like, oh yeah, like, whoa,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Obviously he's not thinking about it. So that's interesting, but that's not really the crux of the episode. So, cartoon characters be coming to life.
Yeah. So I think we all approached this episode with some trepidation.
Right.
I did, just because I'm like, I love that kind of old style cartoon. And so, like, don't even go there if you can't do it well. I like things like Cuphead, and I like things like Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I like things that approach it in a reverent or irreverent, but you have to bring a certain level of class to it for it to go well. And I think this did and did not do that.
Okay. Sorry, Melanie. We're both on the same mute switch, so I'm trying to coordinate our mutes.
Sure.
But yeah, okay, I could see that. The cartoon stuff was fine. Obviously you knew they were going to get more into the toy maker gods thing. So
I would say that was almost the most disappointing part of it.
Yeah.
Like if this was just like some weird creature that was created by the moonbeam, I think I would have had less of a problem with it.
Agreed.
It made more sense the way they went with it, but it just was like the weakest, lamest of the. Okay, lamest is probably not a good word to say, but like it was the worst of the gods so far, the worst of the ones that they've thrown Harbinger onto, right? Like this was just such a throwaway. We've had even the Maestro felt more important and scary than this.
I agree. Like he was so limited. Like, what kind of god are you that you can't do like anything? You have to sing a song first of all. And I mean, there's rules, whatever. I get, but that was stupid. And he's stuck there. I mean, it was super dumb. I thought for it then to make him a god.
And then I also felt like this had the whole like what is it, the Raiders of the Lost Ark argument, you know, that Big Bang Theory threw out there for the first movie. Was like, you didn't need Indiana Jones there because they ultimately got the Ark of the Covenant, opened the Ark of the Covenant, everyone that looked at it died, and then it was put away into cold storage.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
You know,
okay.
that whole argument, and I feel like you could make the same argument for this thing. It's like it was ultimately going to go outside and then get hit by the sun, and then story over.
Right. Same result.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like eventually, it was going to feed on enough light.
Mm-hmm. Funky. What's it called? Funky Winker Reed. Is that what it is?
Wow, what's his name?
Adventure Time.
Oh.
Remember, he like just grows big and big and becomes the universe or whatever.
Funky Winker Bean's a comic strip.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
Well, the character's name is something similar to that.
Probably. That sounds like an Adventure Time name concoction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right. I'm just not a fan of this whole like the gods thing. The potentially cool. Didn't Chibnall dabble in like bringing back some like gods showed up for a couple episodes? Didn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. Whatever.
They did the whole like thing with time.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh, I'm going to talk to time itself or whatever.
I didn't like that. That sucked too.
Wasn't that even part of the flux? I don't even know. No, it wasn't even part of the flux.
I think
it was. Put an F on. You just put an F on the front of this episode, and you got kind of the same level of quality. So a little rushed and kind of pointless.
I do. I mean, I like the irony or whatever of it. It's like backwards genie getting the Jafar guy, you know, type of thing. But still lame.
Yeah, I didn't hate.
You know what else makes me think of? I'm sorry.
No.
Signals. Like, how are you gonna go somewhere where it rains when like water falls from the sky literally all the time? If water kills you, that's like the stupidest place to go, right? So if light is gonna, I don't know, make you grow into the universe, stay away from the freaking suns. I mean, stay in the dark abyss somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, rules they established didn't even make sense. It was like, well, he only comes out at night. Why?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Because he's light, and light comes at night? No, I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
If it was the moonbeam thing, and maybe get ridiculous Doctor Who sci-fi with it. Moonbeam thing, there was some like maybe light bacteria or something that transmitted down into it, and it's a living organism. There you go. You can even still end it the same way. Like it's sensitive to light. It'll just expand. I just don't. Yeah, I don't like the like. What they have a name for it? I can't remember the legions of whatever the legion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most of the episode was fine. Normally, I love a show when it gets super meta. I don't know. Like them going into the cartoon was fine. I kind of wish they would have stayed two-dimensional cartoons longer, but animation's not cheap.
Right.
I hated, like in everything, the people took too long to react. I told Randy this, and he already knows. If something ever crawls out of the TV at all, I'm freaking out and I'm out the door immediately. Okay, there's no way.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
it's nice or not. I'm just leaving.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was Melody's like the first comment was like, as soon as his hand came through this or foot or whatever came through the screen,
the glass on the TV pops out. You're like, no, I'm out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also, the show always depicts their hardcore. Maybe that is their hardcore fans. I mean, I've watched some YouTube channels where it's like, okay, I guess I could see that dude sitting on that couch with that group of people, but they always depict their like hardcore fans a certain way, and it seems so like over the top to me.
Like,
of course, they were wearing a fez, and yeah,
right.
And you got to have the Fourth Doctor scarf in there.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as I like when a show goes meta, I don't know if I really like that.
Yeah, there were bits of it I liked. Like I enjoyed the little banter bit where he's like, "What about the one where I stepped on a landmine?" Like he's trying to like give his iteration of the Doctor some cred.
Right?
That was fun. I mean, but like, yeah, and then the whole idea was like, well, we don't get surnames. Like we're trying to feel like give these throwaway characters some kind of hook, and I just didn't. It's like, that's it, that's what you got.
They all like Blink because everybody likes Blink.
Yeah,
conceptually it was interesting, them realizing like, oh wait, no, we're the ones that are like doomed, we're not going to exist, you guys, whatever. Them realizing they're the fictional characters. On paper, I like it. So I guess I can't fault RTD too much, but I don't know. Something about it just didn't play very well for me.
They played with too many ideas in this little episode, to the detriment of the threat and to the detriment of the plot. Like all the ideas were like kind of fun and experimental and like trial and error. Like, okay, what if we were stuck in a thing? Well, let's pull down. Oh no, we can't do that. Let's go forward. Oh, that's not working. Oh, now we have to stop the film. You're like, this is all fun, but it took a lot of time and pulled away from the idea of this cartoon character, which was maybe the coolest bit, and also the silliest bit. But like them interacting with a cartoon character and being like, how are you and what are you and all of that, like that was the fascinating bit. But then they were like, oh, I don't know if we can make this guy any more scary. Like he has like 3 things he can do. He can sing at you, he can trap you in the filmosphere, and what else? I don't even know.
They should have made him
threaten to burn you. Yeah.
I very much disliked too that the way to save people is to start everything on fire, because that always saves everybody, right? I mean,
right.
The building was in flames; they should all be burnt up as well. It doesn't make no goddamn sense.
Yeah.
And that guy's wife, it was sad she just died, but he should know better.
Right. I wish they would have
manifested an actual book of matches or like an actual box of matches that she actually handed to him.
Right.
Like,
where did those come from?
What are we doing here, RTD? We just narratively, none of this makes sense, and you're just doing it anyways.
That's kind of like the big flaw of this era. And maybe I just don't remember it being that big of a problem. There's just like logic loopholes that he just doesn't care about anymore, or logic plot holes, logic holes in general.
Like, oh, let's deal with this racism thing even more and have the mom come in with a cop that is, but it's just like a dream within a dream kind of idea. It's not, right. Oh, that's not real either. We don't know what is real.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a big problem. Yeah, I didn't hate the episode, but it was. It's
so
fine.
Dumb.
It's fine. I don't want Doctor Who to go away. It is probably going to take at least a year off. It doesn't need a year. It doesn't need another wilderness years, like all that crap you keep reading online, Right. But I'm not crazy about this season so far.
Yeah.
No, these first 2 haven't really won me over. I will say Alan Cumming did a great job as the voice.
Sure.
I don't have any problem with any of the casting, and I just think they really needed to tighten this up way more before they decide to shoot it.
The animation was nice.
Yeah.
The effects in the animation was real nice. I liked when the character would look fairly demented sometimes. It was very nice.
I did really I thought it was fun that the emotional depth made them become 3D. That's kind of fun.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good potential here. I think that's maybe the worst part of it is it's the whole Brightburn of it all. It's not that it's not that it was horrible. It's that it could have been even better. It could have been way better. They just needed to spend a little more time with it. This is one of those, you got a good idea, sit on it a bit, think about it a little bit more, edit it.
Yeah, right. A little more refinement.
Yeah. Everything doesn't have to be made like South Park.
Right.
Also, enough Mrs. Flood. Was she in this one? I think she popped in.
She was. She absolutely was. Oh, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this TARDIS disappear, friends. How did I even get here?
Yeah. Right. Doesn't make any sense.
Didn't think she was a Time Lord before, she's definitely a Time Lord.
And a stalker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, maybe it'll end up being amazing.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
You know what else is amazing?
What?
Color. And scientists at the University of Berkeley, California, developed a method to control the retina. Control the retina of an eye to stimulate photoreceptors, enabling study participants to see a new color dubbed OLO. It's described as a blue-green of unprecedented saturation. And the technique they used to make people see that is they nicknamed it Oz, which I thought was fun. But by using this technique to introduce the brain to new visual data and stimulation patterns, they hope to allow colorblind patients to see new dimensions of color. Also, as the study progressed, they realized it could be used to study visual function at a new scale of precision and to diagnose eye conditions. So, there's that.
So, a supersaturated color OLO?
Yeah, that can only be seen when lasers shine in your retina and stimulate all your color cones at once.
Only laser ocular.
Yeah, only 5 people on the planet have seen it.
Or if, say, a meteor came down and crashed into the Earth, and then suddenly there was this undecipherable color, and then here we are, color out of space. This is how we get H.P. Lovecraft. Is that what you guys want?
Yeah.
You want H.P. Lovecraft?
You want some Miskatonic something or other? Some Mountains of Madness?
Yeah, it'd be crazy. I love it.
Then your wife Cronenberg's with your son into a monstrous escape.
That's just a Thursday. It can get bent. Cronenberg's.
Well, that's what I
with the Thursday Cronenberg's. That's for sure.
The Thursday Cronenberg's.
Olo, more like YOLO. Am I right?
That's the show's title now. It's the Thursday Cronenberg's.
Thursday Cronenberg's.
We're gonna go video again. I'm gonna keep shaving, and like Thursday Cronenberg's.
Fear is the mind killer.
Well, I was when you were colorblind. I was gonna say, like, if they have this technology, they can't just be introducing new colors. They should probably help people who don't see all the regular colors. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean that was kind of why they started the thing, and the new color was just a happy accident. They found out it could happen, but the point was is to stimulate the photoreceptors so that your brain gets used to receiving this data that it doesn't normally because it's missing the cone or whatever that I think it's a cone, or I think it's cones and not rods. I'm not sure, but I think it's cones that see color, to stimulate them to see stuff like visual patterns it's not used to seeing, so that when they're not shining a laser in it, it can still be like, oh, that thing that I now recognize. And maybe they can't necessarily see the actual color, but they can see more than they could before. See the difference of it more. You know what I mean?
I have FOMO of Olo. I want to see this color.
I do too.
F those 5 people. They're color elitists. I want to see these colors.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Why is it only the 1% that get these colors?
Right.
Because they were there when they did it.
Oh, yeah.
Because at least 2 of them were the scientists working on it.
I call that nepotism.
At least that's meritocracy and not oligarchy.
No, yeah, well, funding will promptly be cut.
Oligarchy, as Bernie would say.
Right. All right. Well, hey, Jess, you got anything exciting coming up you want to mention before we bounce out of here?
Just free comic book day, which I don't even know. That's not this weekend, but it'll be next weekend. And
okay.
I'll be doing the free comic book day thing that I do every year, which is I go to Krypton Comics in Omaha, Nebraska, and I spend the entire day sitting in a bad chair drawing stuff for free.
Such as the life of the comic
sound
glamorous strip artist.
Really, so but it's for the kids. So.
Where's Krypton again now?
Krypton is it's what's at Westwood Plaza, and it's on like 124th and Center or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew it had moved at least once, maybe twice, so I wasn't sure.
Now it's on the front of that plaza. It was always in the plaza, but it was in the back.
Okay.
Back even further past the old used to be the old like Dollar Theater or whatever.
Right.
Or one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sad they're all gone.
The Dollar Theaters?
Yeah. And that was always a cool one. With the
one with the crazy lights and stuff. Yeah.
We could see a different color in there, maybe, if they had...
Oh my God. You probably did. Because it was like weird butter on the lights and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And kind of strange diffusion. It's not like a laser, but it's something.
Salty butter crusted lights make it. That's where the new colors actually come from.
Yeah, that's right.
Years of salty butter encrusting.
Oh, that's how you get Lovecraft. Careful. You touch those lights, you're getting Cronenberg.
It's Cronenberg Thursday down at the Dollar Theater.
Oh my. That's also one of my favorite Rick and Morty is when they go to where they accidentally Cronenberg an entire world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think it's their world.
I think that was the original world.
Yeah.
That was the original world. And then they had to jump to a world where they had died. Just take over those lives.
It's pretty dark.
Yep.
That's the darkest episode and also so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's another show we have access to now that we need to catch up on, because I don't remember where we left off, but we're not current on Rick and Morty.
Yeah, love it. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy
watch that visualizer, baby. It just goes up and down. It's so good.
Right. Thanks for listening. Tomorrow night I'll be doing more radio shenanigans here on Helix Rock Radio at rockradio.live. If you want to hear some extreme metal, probably a bunch of death metal, some thrash, maybe a little black metal, all the metals, join me.
Yeah.
Join me. I'll try to make a super long playlist so I don't have enough time to ramble too long. That's my new trick. I'm like, an hour and 40 minutes is about perfect. So I'll sometimes program like an hour and 46 minutes of time, which means I need to get through my little like crap rambles.
For sure.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have all that. Cronenberg Thursdays can get bent.
Yep.
They can.
Into their families.
Your families.